Okay, now. Li Ling had more cards than John at first. Yes. Okay, that's very easy to make careless mistake. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so after John bought another 124 cards, and Li Ling threw away 27 cards. John then had 56 more cards than Li Ling. So how many more cards did Li Ling have than John at first? You see that this question, they did not ask like how many cards Li Ling or John have at first. The questions hinge on the difference again. Did you realize that? So the difference, the question is asking for how many more cards than Li Ling did Li Ling have than John at first. So since we want to work out the information at first, and yes, although we are told that Li Ling had more cards than John at first, but this is what we need to find out. We don't have much information. But the absolute information that we can have, as you have observed, is this piece here. Okay, that John had 56 more cards than Li Ling. Okay, so John had 50 more cards than Li Ling here. So from there, we are going to work backwards. So this one is slightly different from what we experienced just now. Just now, we just worked from the beginning and then we add out the changes. But now, for this one, you can see that we are working from the back to, we are working backwards to the beginning. So here, I will advise starting from that stage. That means from the back. Okay, so for the back here, this is John, all right? And now this is what happens in the end. Okay, this is what happens in the end. This is what happens in the end. So I'm going to work backwards to find out what is at first. So I want to work out the stage where they are at first. So what do I do here? I need to reverse all the changes. And what are the changes here? We are told that, okay, let me use another color here. We are told that Li Ling threw away 27 cards. So did she throw away 27 cards at first? No. So I'm going to add, oh, sorry, just forgot to indicate 56 here. So I'm going to add this part, the 27 here. Right. So since Li Ling did not throw away the 27 cards at first, and then I'm going to work out the change for John as well. John bought 124 cards. Did he buy so many cards at first? No. So now I'm going to take away. Again, 124 is more than 56. So I know that this will be the portion that I need to cut into. Okay, so here I will need to take away a total of 124. I need to take away a total of 124. If I take away a 124, looking at a part whole, if from this point all the way to this point is 124, what about this? Am I able to find out this part here? And why is finding out that part so important? Why is finding that part more important? Because here is where the difference of Li Ling and John is. So I need this blue portion here. So having found that, it would take 124 minus 56. Right, and what is my answer? 68 here. So if I know that this is 68, so what is this? That means now, this is my before. This is, from this point all the way to this, represent the number of cards that John had. But from this point all the way to this point would represent the number of cards that Li-Ling have. So the difference must be this portion all the way to that. And how many do I have? So it will be 68 plus 27, and that gives me the difference of 95. So in this case, you can only find out the difference. There is no way, not enough information given to find out what is the number of cards that they had. Clear? I see that, yeah, some of you are getting the answer correctly. Well done. Okay. So you see that due to the nature of the question, due to the type of information that is given, model drawing will help you in your solution greatly. And although these are, I would say that other than the PSLE questions that we were told that is PSLE, these are the commonly asked P4 questions. But doesn't mean that it won't appear in P5 and P6, because somehow this kind of concept will be incorporated with a greater concept. All right, later I'll show it to you that how this particular basic understanding will later be translated to something else that is, trickier